Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Weathersfield Proctor Library Story Time. Our library bear has gotten himself all decked out ready for today's adventure. He asked for an adventure, and so we are going hunting for crocodiles today. He's got his hat, his compass, his whistle in case he gets in trouble. He's got his canteen and his flashlight, and we are all set. The first book we're going to read today is called Crocs by David T. Greenberg. It's illustrated by Lynn Munsinger. We went hunting for crocodiles and we sure found a lot of them. Crocs. Oh, look at that. They have hats just like you, Bear. It's really a pity that you had to leave the city because of all the horrifying critters. Giant tabby cats and defiant scabby rats, large enough to swallow babysitters. Roaches in your omelets, pigeons dropping bomblets, wild poodles stalking you in gangs. Squirrels in the trees with lots and lots of fleas, and every single flea has tiny fangs. So, you've traveled to an island tropical like Thailand and left the grubby city you deplore. There are birds and butterfly, breezes flutter by. Finally, you are totally secure. Pudgy as a panda, relaxed on your veranda, wiggling your toes within your socks. You sadly have no notion all around you in the ocean are tons and tons of terrifying crocs. Oh my goodness. He didn't even go hunting and he found crocs. The day is dark and glum. The mailman hasn't come. The monkeys in the trees seem somewhat nervous. Your dog is strangely missing. Your kitties started hissing. Your telephone has disconnected service. You're terribly annoyed, very paranoid. You race around your home to check the locks. Safe, you've checked them all. You're padding down the hall and are smothered by a tidal wave of Crocs. Crocodiles growling. Crocodiles howling at the very tops of their lungs. Crocodiles thrashing, wildly smashing. Crocs with studs in their tongues. Crocs in disguises, crocs of all sizes, biting the knobs off of doors. Ripping to shreds all of the beds, falling asleep in drawers. You're completely surrounded, shocked and astounded, collapsed on a pile of rugs. When all the crocs pause, open their jaws, and bombard you with kisses and hugs. Oh, they're wild when riled, but usually mild, milder than a mouse. And they want to assure you they love you, adore you, which is why they've moved into your house. So walk a croc around the block. Watch the neighbors flock and gawk. See oodles and oodles of crocs slurping noodles, a crocodile chef with a wok. Crocodile teens in sagging jeans, crocodile firemen, crocodile cop. Gobbling cake up, putting on makeup, painting their nails and going to shop. Crocs in your cupboard, incredibly blubbered, drinking Tabasco sauce. Pitiful squawks from several crocs tangled up in dental floss. Your home's now flooded. You've grown cold-blooded. You feel an instinctual urge to scooch on your belly, eat anything smelly, to slide into puddles, submerge. Your sleeping cubby is amazingly grubby, made from buzzard boogers dried. You're green like broccoli, entirely crockily. You're utterly satisfied. Then early one morning, without any warning, there's a sickening seismic shock. It boggles your brain, but it's suddenly plain. Your island itself is a crock. You hold on tight as he stands upright and snaps at a lightning flash, exhaling a spire of poisonous fire. He falls back in the sea with a crash. He swivels his eyes of mountainous size and watches you stagger and stumble. He crashes his tail, swallows a whale, then speaks in a monstrous rumble. At last I've awoken, so heed what I've spoken. I appoint you king of our nation. Rule fairly and sweetly, or I'll eat you completely. He returns to deep hibernation. All the crocs sing, you're their crocodile king. There's dancing, feasting, laughter. You're placed on a throne. Your dog returns home, and you live snappily ever after. That book was Crocs by David T. Greenberg, illustrated by Lynn Munsinger. Well, I hope you liked that book about crocodiles, Bear. Our next one is called Counting Crocodiles, written by Judy Sierra and illustrated by Will Hillenbrand. Now, you can probably guess that you're going to have to be doing some counting. Look at those crocodile eyes hidden down there in the water. Oh, look at this picture of the ocean. There are a lot of crocodile eyes there. So, Counting Crocodiles by Judy Sierra, illustrated by Will Hillenbrand. I'll have to move this back to see the whole picture. On an island in the middle of the Syllabobble Sea lived a clever little monkey in a sour lemon tree. She ate lemons boiled and fried, steamed, sautéed, pureed, and dried. She ate lemons till she cried, I'm all puckered up inside. Then across that sea so wide, a banana tree she spied. How delectable, she sighed. I would love to take a trip across the Syllabobble Sea and carry back a stack of sweet bananas from that tree. The Syllabobble crocodiles thought they were truly cool, and they looked upon those waters as their private swimming pool. They appeared to be quite vicious, feasting fearlessly on fishes. But the monkey was suspicious and the bananas looked delicious, so she climbed atop her tree and cried, I wonder, are there more crocodiles in the sea or monkeys on the shore? One crusty croc who chanced to hear her snorted, it could not be clearer that lurking just below the waves are crocodiles galore. Why, head to tail, we'd reach across the sea, the reptile roared. With those words he disappeared into the dark and salty sea and brought back his entire crocodilian family. Just look at us, I have a hunch you've never seen a bigger bunch. Later be our guest for lunch. We're all lined up and waiting, monkey. Will you count us, please? She counted 1 crocodile with a great big smile. 2 crocs resting on rocks. What do you think will come next, Bear? Did you say 3? Good. 3 crocs rocking in a box. 4 crocs building with blocks. 5 crocs tickling a fox. 6 crocs with pink mohawks. 7 crocs juggling clocks. 8 crocs in polka dot socks. 9 Crocs with chicken pox. And 10 Crocs dressed like Goldilocks. The crocodiles were dancing and cavorting in the slime. Impatiently they asked, "How many of us did you find?" With her mouth full of bananas, the monkey scolded, "Mind your manners. Line up now, crocodiles. I need to count you one more time." Oh, well, let's see how this goes. She counted 10 Crocs dressed like Goldilocks, 9 Crocs with chicken pox, 8 Crocs in polka dot socks, 7 Crocs juggling clocks, 6 Crocs with pink mohawks. Five Crocs tickling a fox, 4 Crocs building with blocks, 3 Crocs rocking in a box, 2 Crocs resting on rocks, and 1 crocodile with a great big smile. As the monkey jumped ashore and scurried up her lemon tree, the crocodiles below cried out, "How many then are we? Tell us now," the Crocs all howled. "Just enough," the monkey scowled. "Just enough to make a bridge across the Syllabobble Sea, but not enough to catch a clever monkey like me." That was quite an adventure. Counting Crocodiles by Judy Sierra, illustrated by Will Hillenbrand. Well, we certainly found a bunch of crocodiles. We have one more crocodile to read about. This book is called I, Crocodile by Fred Marcellino. I, Crocodile. Ah, what a contented crocodile I used to be, wallowing around in slimy green water, snoozing on mudbanks in the hot sun, scaring the life out of anything that wandered by. But my greatest joy? Eating. Actually, overeating. I had the perfect diet, an endless variety of delectable fish, all sorts of succulent water birds, plus a few reptiles on the side. Distant cousins only. However, unlike certain pathetic creatures who have to chase after their next meal, I always ate in style. Dinner? It came to me. And why not? I'm an aristocrat, a direct descendant of the noble crocodiles of ancient Egypt. In fact, the great pharaohs themselves treated my ancestors like gods. Idol worship, I just love it. That's why I always resisted eating people, even though they do look awfully tasty. Guess I'm just the sentimental type. Those were blissful days indeed, but sadly they came to an abrupt end on, to be precise, August 17th, 1799. Who should decide to come to Egypt? Napoleon. You know, that French guy who thought he owned the world. What was going on? An invasion? More like a raid. And the center of it all, this little man barking orders. "Mummies! I want mummies!" Napoleon cried. "And a sphinx and an obelisk. Make it a big one. That temple over there, just what I need. Palm trees, too. Don't forget palm trees." crocodile, he bellowed. I must have a crocodile. Suddenly, some bozos with funny hats and a big net were all over me. What a cruel and abrupt departure from my mud bank. I scarcely had a chance to give a parting glance to my beloved home, much less finish my scrumptious dessert, pink flamingo. And what a beastly ocean voyage. Even crocodiles can get seasick. For the first time in my life, I couldn't eat a thing. I just picked a little. After 2 wretched weeks at sea, we finally dropped anchor. Then an endless coach ride. Was anyone keeping track of all the meals I was missing? Last stop, Paris. There in the gardens, I was installed in a fountain. How humiliating to find myself living in what amounted to a fancy bathtub. On the other hand, it was rather flattering to receive so much attention. Napoleon showed me off to everyone. I was an overnight sensation, an instant celebrity. The toast of the Tuileries, the darling of the empire. Soon, all Paris was doing the crocodile walk. Yes, very nice. But what about dinner? I hadn't had a decent meal in ages. Well, fashions change quickly in Paris. In no time at all, the fantastique crocodile égyptien was old news. Napoleon found new amusements. Visitors were few, and my diet? Don't ask. Oh, he looks very glum there, doesn't he, Bear? Then one morning, Napoleon and some guests strolled idly by. "Is that beast still here, sir?" inquired one of the ladies. "Off to the kitchen with him. Crocodile pie with Egyptian onions. It's all the rage in Cairo." "A brilliant idea," cried the emperor. "We'll have him for dinner tonight." What? To think that kings once bowed before crocodiles? Now here was this lowlife ready to eat one. I spent the day nervously pacing the rim of my tub. Then, oh no, a loutish fellow with a cleaver showed up. I felt faint. But wait, a ballooning mishap? Napoleon in peril? No, my chance to flee. Boldly seizing the opportunity, I made my escape. Now what? Murky waters, slime-covered walls, dank and fetid air. Yes, lucky me, the sewers of Paris, crocodile heaven. Wait a minute. What about dinner? Not to mention breakfast, lunch, and snacks. After all, I was still stuck in Paris. What was a starving crocodile supposed to eat? Yummy. Now, what's for dessert? Well, Fred Marcellino wrote about iCrocodile based on Napoleon bringing a crocodile to Paris from Egypt. But the crocodile really didn't do these things, Bear. Well, I hope you enjoyed our story time today at the Weathersfield Proctor Library. Bear is looking forward to seeing you all here again, and we'll see you next time. Bye.